Good evening, it's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
Good evening, I am Noble Crosby-Anna. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. Let's take a look at the headlines of the bulletin tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank, Nero Prime Water.
Tonight, Ghana Medical Association expresses concern over publication of names of doctors in Ministerial Investigative Committee's report on death of Charles Emisa, saying and risk shifting attention away from deeper systemic failures in Ghana's emergency healthcare delivery. We have details plus what Chairman of Parliament Health Committee has been saying about the report.
Also coming up tonight, 60-year-old man faces charges for allegedly tying son to quad bike and dragging him through North Legon streets.
Parliament's Roads Committee demands answers from Amandi Construction of abandoned 22-kilometer Kojokrom Mansour Rail project, despite securing new government contracts.
Later in business news, Ghana climbs to 8th largest economy in Africa as GDP hits over $114 billion on strong mining, ICT and financial sector growth.
And before we go tonight, to bring you some international news, as World Health Organization says 5 cases of hantavirus have now been confirmed in relation to an outbreak on a cruise ship. Welcome to the bulletin. We have details of these stories and a lot more, including the latest in the world of business and entertainment, coming to you starting from here.
In our very first story, Dr. Matilda Emisa, sister of the late Charles Emisa, says that although emergency response system is flawed, she still has trust in the state and the system. She made these remarks after the committee investigating her brother's death concluded that Charles Emisa died from medical neglect and not accident trauma following 2 hours of neglect across 3 major hospitals.
On Wednesday, May 6, the committee set up by the health minister, having presented its report, revealed that failure to triage the patient or administer care at the 3 hospitals contributed to Charles's death. Chair of the committee and pathologist, Professor Ajiman Bedu Akosa, also noted that the unequipped ambulance, unable to stop the blood loss, was another factor in Charles Emisa's death.
Emergency medical technicians lacked basic life support, advanced cardiac life support, and advanced trauma life support. In other words, they were just carriers. We discovered that there was lack of documentation of critical vital signs of the patient. If you looked at the ambulance itself had equipment that were stationary. And unfortunately, the BP cuff got torn, and therefore it was difficult for them to take the vital signs.
Dr. Matilda Emisa, sister of the late Charles Emisa, narrated how during the search for Charles, the family struggled to obtain information from the police to ascertain his whereabouts.
With the police, even with the search for him, they weren't forthcoming. Kept giving us feedback, we are still working on it. The investigations, they said the cameras at the circle overpass were only directed towards the traffic. The traffic lights. Who's going to run a traffic light and who's not. And there were no other cameras, facing the angle where the accident happened. And the only camera that could have given us some feed was blocked by a huge tree.
She revealed that although the system failed her brother, she still has hope in it.
Health workers and then the nurses would have their own reasons for what happened, but it cannot explain how long it took them to attend to Charles Emisa. As I sit and hearing from the committee, I still have hope in the system. They did not take the matter lightly. They have done the necessary investigation. We still have hope that, from here, henceforth, they would put structures in place to make sure that this does not occur again. Charles Emisa is the last of its kind to happen.
The committee, among other recommendations, called for the establishment of basic life support and advanced cardiac life support training for health workers, pupils, students, and the general public.
And now the chairman of Parliament's Health Committee has told medical professionals who feel exhausted and unhappy with their profession to resign rather than compromise the ethics and standards of healthcare delivery. The disappointed legislator said this after the investigative committee, which probed the death of hit-and-run victim Charles Emisa, presented its report. Meanwhile, chairman of the probe of the committee has urged government to strictly implement the recommendations.
We are saying that it is beyond just the facility. It is the individuals. And please, if you are a medical professional and you are tired of the work, probably you have to, you can resign. I'm telling you, Ghana will survive. If you are ready to work, please, there are ethics. If you can't do something, you call your colleague doctor, your senior doctor. And one funny thing about doctors is that the senior doctors is that they are always happy to be called. Once a junior doctor calls a senior doctor, they are ready to run and come and help. This has nothing to do with no bed syndrome, but that was the name that was given to it.
We believe that this was not the first time an event like this has happened. Committee reports were done and the reports collected dust. And we want to ensure that this report does not collect dust, but is acted upon. You are a professional, you take a Hippocratic oath, you say I, and you mention Ajimambedu Akosa, and you swear to do that. That is not the establishment, that is not the hospital, that is not the facility. It is you, as a qualified practitioner, registered by the Medical and Dental Council. And therefore, you breached your duty of care.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Medical Association has raised concerns over the publication of names of doctors in the Ministerial Investigative Committee's report on the death of Charles Emisa. They say it risks shifting attention away from deeper systemic failures in Ghana's emergency healthcare delivery. In a communication to its members dated May 7, the association acknowledged the report's findings, which highlight significant gaps and long-standing weaknesses in emergency care delivery across the country. And let me walk you through some of the findings or the issues raised by the Ghana Medical Association on the investigative report. One of them is this, that the report identified significant systemic weaknesses and long-standing gaps in emergency care delivery in Ghana. That they acknowledged. They also said that the findings reinforce the need for sustained investment in emergency systems, referral pathways, staffing, equipment, and accountability structures. 5 points they raised there. Now, they go further to talk about this, that the report has recommended some actions against some doctors who may have played a role in the unfortunate incident. Now, the publication of the names of these health workers has caused discussions to focus attention on attacks on named individuals rather than the wider systemic issues. That's a concern they have, that instead of focusing on the wider challenges in the healthcare system, the names of the doctors mentioned, people will go ahead and begin to attack them. And then they add that any such processes must be fair, transparent, evidence-based, and consistent with due process. They will immediately commence processes to secure an official copy of the report so they can read for themselves not only the highlights, but everything that is contained in the report. And they'll provide appropriate support to any member, including the doctors, of course, who may be subject to disciplinary proceedings. They want to stand by their own, and they end by saying that they are urging all members to remain calm and avoid speculations or public commentary, of course, because it has a tendency to change and affect the entire discussions.
Still on the health sector, laboratory scientists at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital have denied claims that they are on strike, insisting that laboratory services at the facility are still operating, although at reduced capacity due to ongoing system audits. The clarification follows public concerns over disruptions in laboratory services at the hospital amid tensions over the appointment of medical doctors to head laboratory department. But as the impasse continues, questions are being raised about whether ordinary Ghanaians should bear the brunt of the conflict.
Chief Executive Officer of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and council members around 10 a.m. on Thursday visited the central laboratory to have a word with staff and leaders there. But agitated staff could not hide their displeasure over an alleged comment made by the chairman of the Kolebu Doctors Association, Dr. Asari Ofe, that 50% of laboratory results from the central lab are inaccurate. A meeting with the leaders and staff lasted almost an hour. Afterwards, the impasse was not entirely resolved, according to union leaders, even as the director of pharmacy, Dr. Charles Ofe Pam, is to act as head of the laboratory pending a meeting scheduled for next Tuesday.
Medical laboratory services are under allied health services. And the law says Section 3E that we should regulate that services. We want to stick to that. However, if Medical and Dental Council have something different, which we believe we can discuss together and see the way forward. But until then, they should stay calm, go to work.
We met with the chief director, and he has given direction. We are law-abiding citizens. We are not going to flout his directions. We've been working all this while, even though aggrieved.
Management of Kolebu later issued a statement stating that results from the central lab are accurate. However, the laboratory scientists have rejected that position. Their demand is simple. Management should compel Dr. Asari Ofe to retract and apologize for his comments.
We have to do system audits and reports because the doctor that made that claim is a major client. So if your client is dissatisfied with your results, the only thing mandated by the ISO standard is that you have to do system audits, especially when he has not provided evidence. You don't have to let's say that he was just daydreaming. No, every comment, every life matter. So we shall do system audits to restore, and whenever we get the findings, we'll communicate same to the public.
Meanwhile, during our stay at the Central Lab Department, a few patients trickled in and were attended to. Earlier, concerns were raised as to why the public should bear the brunt of a conflict that is not directly caused by government policy, but rather administrative. But the scientists have denied being on strike, indicating that laboratory operations have only been slowed because some machines have been temporarily shut down for verification and auditing purposes. One can only hope that after the deadline given, an amicable solution will be reached. Evelyn Tenkma, TV3 News, Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Now, health authorities have launched a nationwide campaign to boost awareness and promote early detection of newborn jaundice, a condition that affects thousands of infants in Ghana every year. Now, the 2026 initiative is in partnership with the Onuat Foundation, 3 Foundation, African Health Supplies, and the Pediatric Society of Ghana. It seeks to expand public education on the condition across the country.
The newly introduced Newborn Jaundice Wellness Month is designed to educate parents, caregivers and healthcare workers on the warning signs, dangers and importance of early treatment of jaundice in newborns. The president of the Pediatric Society of Ghana, Dr. Hilda Mantebia-Boy, said the campaign will focus on both urban and rural communities where awareness levels and access to treatment remain limited.
Newborn jaundice, it's very common. And this jaundice, even though it looks like nothing to be scared of, can cause disability and death in babies. As a result, look out for jaundice in your newborns or your babies after delivery and see your healthcare professionals for assessment and management.
The month-long initiative will be carried out in hospitals and community health centers nationwide with particular attention to rural communities where pediatric health care services are often inadequate. Health authorities are urging parents to seek immediate medical care if they notice yellowing of a baby's skin or eyes within the first few weeks after birth. As part of efforts to support the campaign, African Health Supplies, Onua Foundation and 3 Foundation have donated phototherapy machines to the Pediatric Society of Ghana to aid in the screening and treatment of newborn jaundice. The head of 3 Foundation, Carl Niado, said the organization remains committed to collaborating with other institutions to improve access to quality health care.
This partnership that we just signed with the Pediatric Society of Ghana, it is our core. We are encouraging all business moguls, all corporate institutions, churches and organizations. Please donate and donate fully so that we can kick newborn jaundice out of Ghana.
Some mothers caring for babies affected by newborn jaundice also shared their experiences and appealed for greater government support.
We believe that we will get more of equipment in our physiotherapies. Yes, for me, it's the physiotherapy a lot. We get more equipment there to push the development of the child forward.
In more news tonight, what appeared to be an act of punishment in North Legon has landed a 60-year-old father before the law after he allegedly tied his teenage son to a quad bike and dragged him through the streets, leaving the boy with severe injuries. Police say the shocking incident, which sparked outrage among residents and drew swift community intervention, has led to the suspect being charged with causing harm as investigations continue.
60-year-old Eric Mante is the biological father of the teenager. On May 3, 2026, the teenager reportedly went out with his friends to play football in their neighborhood. This was after the father had cautioned him on multiple occasions to refrain from mingling with the group. Moments later, the father was informed by his youngest child that her elder brother had gone out to play with his friends. The teenager was later said to have entered a neighbor's swimming pool without the owner's consent. The father, who lives with a physical disability and works with the aid of crutches, followed him to the playground. With the assistance of some people, the father succeeded in apprehending his son and later tied him to his quad bike. The man then dragged the boy along the tarred streets of North Legon, ignoring repeated interventions by neighbors and other road users. Eventually, a group of residents gave him a chase and stopped him. But by then, the 16-year-old had already sustained severe injuries to his back, arms, knees, feet, and pelvic region. Neighbors rushed the boy to the Legon hospital. The suspect was also arrested by community members and handed over to the Lankwantana Madina Divisional Police Command. The suspect reportedly told the police he did not know what came over him to inflict such pain on his son. Accra Regional Police Public Relations Officer Superintendent Juliana Obeng, providing an update, said investigations are ongoing while the suspect has been arraigned before court.
He went to court yesterday, but the court didn't sit. We are looking at taking him back to court this afternoon. These are still going on. For now, we are looking at causing harm. But yes, as we proceed with investigations, if there are additional charges, would prefer as well.
Ninoy, a neighbor who led the arrest of the cobbler, corroborated the events of the day.
What I see is you have tied the child the back of the motor. So I tried to stop him because he knows me. But as I try to stop him, he don't stop. So I have to change him, follow him, me to make him so that people will come out then. We rescue them. You don't mind. There's a police post in my area. There's a lady over there. Try to stop him too. He don't stop. So you have to follow him. Run from where I'm standing. Look at my weight. But I ran from there, chasing him to tell him to stop. So a friend around, neighbor, they come out and one helped me with a car to chase him. We got him where people have stopped him. then we rescue the guy over there.
At the hospital, the teenager is recovering. However, an accumulated medical bill of 3,000 cedis nearly forced an early discharge. But the Member of Parliament for Medina, Dr. Francis Xavier Sosu, has stepped in to support the family and settle the medical expenses.
We are not only coming to pay the fees here for him to be discharged, but we'll be paying for all his dressing, and then also providing like the necessaries of life in terms of feeding, accommodation, which is the shelter we are providing until he is okay.
Dr. Sosu further maintains that although the perpetrator is a PWD, he must be made to face the full rigors of the law.
This is one of those cases that can actually go through what we call the plea bargaining. So he should show some remorse and come forward and accept responsibility of his actions. Irrespective of his condition, I believe that justice must be served.
The disturbing incident has renewed debate over child abuse, parental discipline, and the urgent need for community intervention when punishment crosses into violence. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Accra.
A very disturbing development there. Hopefully the right things are done. To some other stories tonight, millions of cities, years of delay, and still no clear finish line. Chairman of Parliament's Roads and Transport Committee, Isaac J. Mensah, is demanding answers from a Mandi construction after an on-site inspection exposed an abandoned 22-kilometer rail line, even as the same contractor secures new deals. Rama Smith has more in this report.
On day one of a two-day working visit to assess ongoing projects across the Western region, the Roads and Transport Committee inspected the 23-kilometer Takrady-Agunankwanta dualization and the Sekondi Takrady inner roads, after which the leadership expressed satisfaction.
So we can see that if all these projects are completed and come to reality, Sekondi Takrady will be one of the wonderful cities in this country.
Day two shifted focus to rail. The committee visited the Takrady-Kojokrom line, where passenger service was reactivated just 2 weeks ago, but operators indicated patronage was low, with passengers complaining about the fare hike. The committee urged them to review it. It then moved to the 22-kilometer Kojokrom-Mansu rail line, and that's where concern turned to outrage. Awarded in 2018 and expected to be completed in 2022, the project remains incomplete. The contractor claims 93% work is done, yet the site has been abandoned despite government paying over 70% of the contract sum.
They should have been able to finish the 7% for the Kojokrom to Mansu. That is critical. And the other one is that we are disappointed that they have vacated site. And the extent of deterioration is also something that I've asked them to bring reports on that one going forward.
For the committee, the pattern is clear. A stalled project, millions paid, and new contracts awarded. Now they want to know the actual cost, the percentage of work completed, and the outstanding government payments.
We don't doubt the capacity of Amandi, but what is going on, I'm tempted to think that probably they're doing it deliberately, just to keep government probably to get more projects. That's why they start with a project, they don't finish, then they get another project, they don't finish, they get another one. So maybe there's intentional something in it.
Rama Smith, TV3 News, Western Region.
You're watching News360. We're back with more stories after this break. Don't go away.
I love Person and Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes.
Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Why are more and more professionals choosing Flamingo paint?
Flamingo paint has great hiding ability to cover and transform old walls easily with just one coat.
With just small paints, I think huge
2026, with the country's gross domestic product rising to $114.71 billion, driven largely by strong performances in the mining, ICT, and financial services sectors. The latest economic figures show Ghana moved up from the 10th position in 2025, when the economy was valued at $108.1 billion.
The growth, which represents a 3.2% increase over the 2025 estimate, reflects improved output in key sectors, particularly mining, where elevated global gold prices boosted export earnings and overall economic activity. The growth was largely supported by Ghana's mining sector, especially rising gold export earnings driven by high international gold prices. The information, communication, and technology sector, together with financial services, also recorded strong expansion and contributed significantly to overall economic growth. Analysts say Ghana's diversified economic structure, spanning natural resources, services, and industry, continues to support resilience despite challenges linked to public debt and external economic pressures. Meanwhile, South Africa maintained its position as Africa's largest economy, with a GDP of $479.96 billion, followed by Egypt and Nigeria in second and third positions respectively. Nigeria's strong rebound was largely attributed to currency adjustments, while Egypt's growth was supported by major infrastructure investments, tourism, and energy sector expansion.
Away from that, Ghana's aviation sector is seeing renewed growth as local airline Air Ghana expands its operations with the introduction of a third aircraft. The new aircraft is expected to boost efficiency, support trade, and improve the movement of goods within and across borders.
For over 3 decades, Air Ghana has played a critical role in the country's aviation space, moving goods across borders and supporting trade within West Africa. Operating routes to countries such as Togo, Côte d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone, the airline has built a reputation as a reliable cargo carrier. Now, the capacity has been strengthened with the introduction of a Boeing 737-400 freighter, registered as 9JKCT, now the third aircraft in the company's fleet.
What we do is the farmers come to us and we help build them to get the cargo to the markets. So when they need to book 5 tons, say, to go to Liège, we facilitate that. We book them on the passenger operators, for example, or on charter flights when we have them. So we understood what the problem was when we were farmers to get the produce to the markets. So we help find the solutions for the farmers.
Air Ghana says it plans to introduce passenger services with a goal of making domestic air travel more affordable.
Air Ghana is a name, it's a brand. We are not going to do it wrongly. We're going to do it once, and we're going to do it right. Now, what that means is we need 2 aircraft. We need 2 very reliable aircraft with 140 seats each, so we can really, really bring that 500 CD ticket a dream. Without the 500 CD ticket, nowadays the ticket price is going higher and higher and higher. We're going to change that.
From transporting perishable goods to handling general cargo, Air Ghana says it remains committed to supporting businesses and individuals who rely on efficient logistics.
In more news, Unilever Ghana Public Limited Company has honored its best-performing and long-serving distributors at the Heritage Gala during its distributors' conference in the Eastern region. The event formed part of the company's efforts to strengthen partnerships with distributors and drive business growth across the country.
At this year's conference, distributors from across the country were engaged by Unilever Ghana plc on its growth agenda and strategies aimed at improving market reach and consumer access to products. Unilever Ghana also honored long-serving distributors who have partnered with the business for more than 20 to over 30 years at the Heritage Gala. Best performing distributors were awarded in various categories for the 2025 business year under review. Sontech Investment Limited emerged as the overall best distributor, taking home an Isuzu 4.1-ton van and Oriama watches for his dedicated sales team. Unilever Ghana PLC Managing Director Chris Wolf Caesar said the engagement with distributors remains central to Unilever's strategy of deepening market presence while ensuring customer satisfaction through product availability and strong retail distribution.
This is really important because we want to continue living our mandate of brightening everyday lives for Ghanaians all across Ghana. We need our distributors to be able to lift up every case of products we produce, every case of products we bring in, to be able to put them on the shelves of every shop all across the country. They are very important to our growth agenda.
He reaffirmed the company's commitment to delivering quality products to Ghanaian consumers.
Unilever's purpose remains the same. Our mission will continue to deliver good quality brands and products that meets the everyday needs of Ghanaians. So we will continue to live our mission, live our purpose, and ensure we remain a part of the fabric of Ghanaian society.
Let's now look at what is happening on the Forex and commodities markets.
Of the bulletin, Benjamin Asare has opened up on his journey, his mentality and confidence in his abilities, insisting that years of hard work and dedication have shaped him into one of Ghana's top goalkeepers. Speaking in an interview with 3 Sports, the Heart of Oak shortstopper revealed that while many football fans may only recently become familiar with his name, particularly after his exploits on the international stage, his story has been years in the making.
To me personal mind, most of the time when you are in life, often we are not the same. And at the same time, when in life, when you cannot judge yourself. Actually, when you judge yourself, none of you the good and the bad. Because you can judge yourself. She yourself no judge. Yes, no, it's part of life. She to me personal, to myself in goalkeeping. I'm a big achievement in goalkeeping, and I have more experience in goalkeeping. Because no one you actually have more experience in goalkeeping. In Jeshimna, in system in Milongeche. Although actually in Olympics in Menam, she so far called in matches community get to many you can be maybe in Akesho. I'm a commitment goalkeeper in the field of play. No, level most of them are made out. She many I'm a lemon now fair. I'm Akesho. Maybe Asari. I can put a lemon. Shade sadly, match on last time. She is system in nature. To me personally, when only you than you all this one I'm Akesho. Need to Salona encouragement here, only to no the only to no chon, when I'm alone bar, subtizable, Namabo, yes, yes. She no me feel when you put your mind into there, that is there you get a problem. She to me personally can me Mokoyo into me opinion. In like I can do mistake, people will say it. She only know if me in bed, I know that in life any BP come on and one off it. When I can make mistake, by tomorrow I can make a big achievement. No, only become into me personally and call like 3D was an agent come banner. Assembly what my have say like me personally say because me fan be say no to me me encourage any me GD any bibia and say baby anya me do no me make it me make it standard na me achieve them person me achieve but into me personally there player appointment coach decision keepers trainer decision and I believe and there any problem there me there no ani say ye nyina your team say see we go chia on perform fine na ye ntimi do baby papa.
Well, still on Benjamin Asare, the Heart of Oak goalkeeper has been drafted into the Black Stars squad ahead of the upcoming international friendly against Mexico. Now, the 33-year-old shortstopper replaces Gideos Esiako in the squad and is expected to link up with the team for the match scheduled for Friday, May 22. And Asare made his Ghana debut against Chad in March 2025, and that followed consistent performances for Accra Heart of Oak in the Ghana Premier League. The shortstopper has since accumulated 11 appearances for the national team, establishing himself as a reliable option between the posts. Well, that's your sport. We have more stories for you after this break. Don't go away.
And fashion moments continue to dominate the entertainment space. One question many fans have been asking, however, is who will host the red carpet? Organizers have now unveiled two familiar faces from Media General as official red carpet hosts for the glamorous night. They are versatile television presenter and host of TV3's afternoon show Godwin Nambo and renowned media personality and host of Ladies Circle Regina Van Helvert. Known for his energetic personality, engaging interview style and commanding presence on television, Godwin Nambo is expected to bring excitement and flair to the red carpet experience. Meanwhile, Regina Van Helvert is set to add elegance, charisma and glamour to the evening with her vast experience in lifestyle and entertainment broadcasting. Together, the duo will engage celebrities, nominees, musicians, fashion icons, and key industry stakeholders as they arrive in style for one of the most prestigious nights on Ghana's entertainment calendar. And now let's get into some tidbits around the world of entertainment.
Ghanaian singer Kiddy has confirmed that he is no longer signed to Lynx Entertainment, bringing an end to his long-standing relationship with the record label that helped launch his music career. Speaking during a TikTok live session with content creator Code Mickey, Kiddy revealed that he is now working as an independent artist. The award-winning musician joined Lynx Entertainment in 2016 after emerging winner of the 2015 MTN Hitmaker. According to him, his transition from the label became evident around the release of Gymnastic, his collaboration with Olive the Boy and Kojo Black. He has since continued his music journey independently with his latest release, Signature featuring Last Mid, currently enjoying strong airplay across various platforms. Ghanaian artist Lamisi is set to take her music to global audiences with a major international tour scheduled for May 22 to September 5. The singer, known for electrifying performances and fusion of Afropop, soul and alternative African sounds, will perform at top venues and festivals across Europe, including the London Jazz Cafe, Amsterdam Roots Festival and Roskilde Festival. The tour represents one of the biggest international runs of Lamisa's career and is expected to further elevate her presence on the global music scene.
Well, that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News360. My name is Noella Donko.
Thank you, Noella. On the international front, the World Health Organization says 5 cases of hantavirus have now been confirmed in relation to an outbreak on a cruise ship. The WHO warned that more may follow due to the virus's 6-week incubation period, but a top health official says this is not the start of a COVID pandemic. 3 people have died either on board or after traveling on the MV Honduras, which set sail from Argentina a month ago. The ship is heading to the Canary Islands, where it is expected to dock at the weekend. Contact tracing is underway in several countries for passengers who left the ship before the outbreak was detected, including the UK, Switzerland, and the Netherlands. The origin of the outbreak is still unknown.
Well, that's our package for you tonight. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. Please do well to log on for more. I am Noble Crosby Allen.
And I am Portia Gabo. Do join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana tonight. Good evening.